There's something special about online horror stories, often called creepypastas, a portmanteau of creepy and copy and paste. These terrifying tales swept through the internet in the early 2000s, blurring the line between reality and fiction, the day-to-day, and living nightmares. If you have an interest in horror and Wi-Fi, you've probably encountered some of the most viral posts. The Russian sleep experiment, Ben drowned, Jeff the Killer, Ted the Carver, or Slender Man. There is a nearly endless field of these stories available, with new ones posted daily all over the internet. So, have you thought about writing your own? What scares you? Most writers of online horror fiction start as readers. It's easy to feel inspired by the work of thousands of talented people posting creepypastas. There's so much talent, creativity, and absolute dread on display. What lover of all things spooky wouldn't want to contribute to that collective virtual fever dream? But what to write about? The answer is simple. Write about what scares you personally. The fear that you feel naturally will bleed through, running through your veins, into your fingertips, and out onto the page. Probably. It takes practice, but it's fun to learn as you go. The seed of your story can start with anything. Maybe a memorable nightmare, a memory, a visit to a haunted place, or even just a glimpse of something that seems out of place. If you leave yourself open to the horror that crawls and slithers around us all every day, you'll soon be surprised how many small ideas you'll pick up. Common themes. Here are some starter ideas to get your first thoughts organized. Phobias. Claustrophobia. Fear of close, tight spaces. Perfect for a story set inside of a cave or a shrinking house. Thalassophobia. Fear of deep water in the ocean. What terrors dwell in deep, dark waters? Acrophobia. Fear of heights. A less common starting point for creepypastas, but a flexible one. What happens on the highest secret floor of a strange new skyscraper? Agoraphobia. Fear of crowds and people. A famous playwright once said, quote, "Hell is other people." Sometimes that could be literal. The creature feature. Monsters are a mainstay of online horror and have been since the start. Many of these entities are iconic. Slender Man with a sharp suit and blank face. Jeff the Killer's razor-sharp smile. Siren heads. Well, Siren Head. Creative monsters endure and are an excellent focus for any modern creepypasta. Some points to consider. Keep your monster at least a little mysterious. Think how rarely we saw the shark in Jaws, but it always felt present. Try not to show your zippers, i.e., don't over-describe your creature. Give the reader enough information that their imagination can start to fill in the blanks. If you're creating an entity that's based on a human, consider the uncanny valley, where a monster is almost human, but wrong in subtle ways. Doll-like movements, facial features that don't seem to fit together, and general distortions. All of these things trigger a primal response in our lizard brains. A warning. We might be in danger from a threat that wants to look like us. Going in the opposite direction, your creature could be bestial. Make it savage. A toothy monster that reminds us why our ancestors used to hide in caves at night. Cosmic horror. In some ways similar to a creature feature creepypasta, cosmic horror focuses on the existential dread of finding out that humans are pointless and powerless in the universe when faced with horrors on a scale our minds can't grasp. That might be due to discovering sea monsters in the deep the size of cities, or an alien being so massive its shadow blocks out the sun. Cosmic horror can be done on a more personal level too. It's about madness and questioning reality. Think H.P. Lovecraft, The Void, Event Horizon, and The Mist. There's so much fear in feeling small. Writing your first creepypasta. What point of view is right for you? Traditionally, creepypastas are written in a first-person point of view. This means that you're telling the story from the narrator's perspective. I saw, I ran, It grabbed me. Telling the story as if it's taking place around you helps make it personal. Readers are easily able to insert themselves into the action as if they were there. First-person point of view also helps with believability. A cornerstone of most creepypasta, you often want the plot to feel real, as if you're relaying the events that actually happened to you. Third-person point of view is less popular but always an option. This is where your narrator is away and above the action, telling a story with a bird's eye view. It's a classic technique widely used in traditional literature. It was a cold and stormy night when Susie heard the knock at her door. This can either be limited third person, where the perspective follows one or a few characters in their thoughts and actions, or omniscient, where the narrator knows everything happening within the story. A quality example of a third-person point of view creepypasta is the Russian sleep experiment. Where should you post your first creepypasta? Now that you have some ideas crawling around inside of your head, it's time to put them on paper. Pick what scares you, find your monster or fear, and run with it. Once you've got a story finished, though, there's one crucial step left: sharing. The foundation of creepypastas is sending them out into the internet like it's one gigantic virtual campfire. That's how the tales spread and become viral. If your goal is to get eyeballs on your tale, you have options. Creepypasta.com, an old site full of classics. It's easy to read, easy to post, but a little dated. You can submit stories using the link in the description, but be sure to read all the terms and conditions. SCP: Secure, Contain, Protect. SCP is a widely popular type of online horror wiki that has spawned popular entities like the Shy Guy and the Scarlet King. The SCP Foundation is a unique and creative place, but requires specific formatting, as it's more of a database than a free-form place for storytelling. Most SCP articles are also considered public domain, meaning they can be shared, narrated, or otherwise used without permission or credit. SCP sites differ, but you can learn more about one of the most popular using the link in the description. NoSleep. r/NoSleep on Reddit is likely the most popular forum for sharing horror fiction on the internet. There are a good number of rules on NoSleep, but the main point is believability. Your story needs to be plausible, like it could actually happen in the real world. You can learn more about NoSleep using the link in the description. So what next? Well, now you're ready to write. Good luck, and stay creepy.